Alright guys, welcome back to another one. We're doing some 16 gauge again today. That's my favorite, 16 gauge. Friend of mine on Facebook was talking to me, John. I have this load I came up with a while back using AA Super Handicap Winchester for 16 gauge target loads. Now there is no data for 16 gauge target loads using that powder. It's only for 12 and 20. But I kind of split the difference, kept the powder charge closer to 20 gauge than 12, and kept the payload weight the same for 12 ounce and an eighth. And been shooting it for a while. It's actually the load that I use most whenever me and Josh and some of our friends go out. My brothers and I shoot some clays. It's the load I mainly use. But he messaged me earlier and we got to talking about it, and I realized I hadn't made a video on it yet, so that's what I'm doing today. The load is really simple. You'll be needing a haul, obviously. This one's Federal. Could also use your Shadots, your Fiocchis, Winchesters. You could use your Remingtons here. My friend Matt sent me these Remingtons. I love these long-range express hauls in 12, 10, and 16 gauge. Now, I actually have a few of these, but I don't use them because I have so few of them. But, yeah, this is a long-range express. This one just says 6 on it. Matt, if you know what this load was, comment below and tell me. I'd like to know. It just says 6 on it. Remington Peters. It's older, I think. But, yeah, 8-point crimp. The green one's got a 6-point. That's cool. But we're just going to be sticking to the Federals today. Be needing... I dropped that one. Hold on. Claybuster wads. Could also use the Field Commander Z16. This is the 1 ounce, 7/8 ounce Claybuster wad. Could also use your what are they called? The Guandi 16 gauge wads. I can't remember what they're called right now. You could use the Remington SP16. I have a few of those, but today we're just using the Claybuster wads. AA powder. Whatever standard primer you have. Primers are hard to come by right now, so I'm just using Shadot. You could use Winchester. I have Winchesters too, and CCIs. I've got some Federal Magnums, but this load does not need a Magnum primer. Let's get the loading one up here. Oh, you'll also be needing 24 gauge nitro cards or paper towel. You could use a Cheerio, an almond, whatever you have as filler will work, as long as it doesn't weigh hardly anything at all. Hulls were already deprimed and resized. Going back with the Shadot. And yes, these Shadot primers are American sized. Those right there. They are American sized primers. Grains. Okay, we're using 17 grains of powder for a 1 1/8 ounce load. 15. That should be 17 right there. 19. It's okay. Still 19. 17. Okay. Now, we're starting off light. Actually, no, I said the 1 1/8 load first. Claybuster blue wad. You'll also need a pair of pliers, or you could use a 16 gauge nitro card, one little section off of it underneath the wad to seal it better. These wads are kind of loose in these straight wall holes. Not so much in the Federals, but if you're using the Fiocchis and Shadots, yeah, you're going to need to flare the gas seal out like what I'm doing right here, or run you a nitro card underneath the wad. All I did here was I just pinched the gas seal out a little bit. See how it's skirt shaped now? That's what you'll want with this right here. And then, this is the 12 gauge wad guide. Add a little bit of compression. And where's my shot right here? I'm using number 6 shot right here. Josh has my 7.5 shot right now. He's been loading up some target loads and some buckshot loads here and there. So we're running number 6 shot today. I would use 7.5 or 8s or even 9s just for clay loads. Oh, a little bit more. There we go. 1.12 is the weight you want. 24 gauge nitro card, just one little section off of it. As you can see, these 1 1/8 wads are actually 1 1/4 wads. Now, 1 1/8 is flush with the top of the shot cup, but there's still a lot of room left in the hull. So you're going to want to put something in the bottom of the wad or an overshot card. I run the overshot card because I like as much shot in the wad as possible. And as you guys can see, that's going to get you a beautiful crimp. There's the 1 1/8 load. That's my favorite 16 gauge clay target load right there. Or, you know, squirrel load, whatever. It doesn't have to be a clay load, but that's what I mostly do with it. Let's load up the 1 ounce load. This one's going to be running the Winchester primer, just because I have them and so do a lot of you guys. The Winchester primers are actually my favorite 209. It's what I started with, and I still have a lot of them. Again, Winchester 209. This one, now you could keep the powder charge the same at 17 grains, or you could do like me and bump it up 2 grains to 19 and drop the shot charge down to 1 ounce, and it's going to get you somewhat higher velocity. Maybe 75 FPS, maybe 100. 23. Overshot that one by quite a bit. 17. That should be 19 right there. Yep. This is a medium fast burn speed powder. It's not as slow as Green Dot, but it is a lot slower than, well, not a lot slower, but it's slower than your stuff like Red Dot, a lot slower than Hodgson Clays, a lot slower than Tight Group and Tight Wad. This is actually a really good powder for 12, 20, and 16 gauge. You could use it for 10 gauge too, maybe up to 1 1/4 ounce. I know you can load 1 1/4 ounce with Hodgson Clays. 23 grains, 1 1/4 ounce Remington SP10 wad, or your CB1138 flared out with a gas seal underneath it. Works great. Yeah, 19 grains of Winchester AA. This one, we're using the pink wad, 7/8 to 1 ounce. Again, flare your gas seal out. And again, you could run a nitro card over your powder if you don't want to bother with flaring the gas seals out. Just whatever's faster for you. Oops. Right like that. One ounce of shot. Again, this is number 6 shot. Awesome. One section of your 24 gauge nitro card right on top. Another beautiful looking crimp. Guys, these hulls almost look brand new. I did take the time after I resized and deprimed them to here. Quadruple aught steel wool. It has to be quad aught. It's gonna really shine up your brass. Just give it a few spins. Now this one was already done. I didn't need to do it again, but I'm just doing it to show you guys. Go around the rim and the base of the shell. Give that a wipe on your shirt. Get all the steel wool off, and it looks brand new, don't it? It is once fired. Camera won't rightly focus on it, but that's okay. It almost looks like a brand new shell. This fit here? No. There is a trick I'm going to show you guys here. If you want a little bit deeper set crimp, there's a trick you can do. Yeah, here it is. This is the 7/16 socket right here. 7/16. Put your shell in the shell holder plate. Pull up on your press all the way. Set your 7/16 socket on your hull. I'll show you. So I don't drop it and lose it. Right like that. And give it a little bit more crimp, and it's gonna, I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done here. You just gotta go by feel here. See what that does? It gives you a little bit deeper set crimp. It looks almost like factory here. Doesn't quite work as well on your buckshot loads because, well, if you put an overshot card on it, it will, but yeah. Just thought I'd show you guys that. I don't do it often because it's totally not necessary, but it's just something extra you can do. Now, this next load is not going to run your semi-autos because it's low velocity and it's just 1 ounce, but Hodgson clays. This is another good clay target load if you don't like recoil or noise or just shooting a lot of powder and lead at once. This is a good 16 gauge lot load. Run it out of your pump or side by side or single shot though. Probably won't run out of a semi-auto. Again, Federal, once fired hull. I've already got it primed just to save some time. Winchester. We're using, this powder smells really good. Sort of like black pepper. 15 grains of Hodgson clays. 14. Come on. Should be it right there. Still 14. This powder weighs nothing. Just adding like 5 or 6 little flakes at a time because I don't want to overshoot it. 15. There we go. Now this load is sort of high pressure for such a light load because it's Hodgson clays is a really fast burning powder. So just be mindful of that. Don't push this load. Don't go over 1 ounce. Don't use more than 15 grains of powder. You might go to 16, maybe 17 grains if you drop it down to 7/8 ounce or 4/5 ounce, which is, you know, 4/5 is 0.80. But yep, have another one of these wads somewhere. Where did I put it? Right here. Claybuster blue wad. I was going to use the pink wad, but they're back there in my bedroom in a box. I don't want to go back there and get them. My wife's asleep. Don't want to wake her up. Okay. 1 ounce of shot. I'm going to keep it on grains because 1 ounce is 437 grains. Ooh, a little bit too much. 438. Yeah, 438 is also an ounce. It goes back and forth. We're on 435 right now, and that's going to give me a little bit more room for the nitro card. Now, since I did use the blue wad, we're going to use 2 sections off the nitro card here. They come in sections of 3. I just tore one little section off. There you go. Good looking pre-crimp. Good Good looking final crimp. There you go. Let's do that socket trick one more time, shall we? Maybe I could have used that third section of nitro card. No, that looks good. I could have used it, but looks good to me. Yep. There's what I use for 16 gauge clay loads. Let me know what you guys use. Go ahead and tell me in the comments. I'd be interested in knowing. You could also, I know you could also use green dot. Let's see what else I've got here. Possibly use WSF maybe. HS6, yeah, you can use it. You can use HS6. That's all that I have that I think you can load with target load 16 gauge. Maybe long shot if you want a little bit higher velocity. Probably 22 grains an ounce and an eighth. That might get you around 1300 FPS. But that's gonna be this one. The end of this one here, guys. Thank you for watching. Like I said, let me know what your favorite 16 gauge game load is, or clay target load, whatever you want to call it. And got any other questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments. I'll get back to you. And thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one. Okay, so I was editing the video, and I figured I showed you guys the light load. Why not show you the heavy load? So that's what we're going to do here. Run through it real quick. We're using CCI, Shadot, Winchester, whatever standard primer you want. 19 grains of long shot. Claybuster blue wad. I ain't going to bother flaring it out because I'm going to take it back apart after I load it. I'm just showing you guys this because maybe some of you guys want a heavy load. You can only use the blue Claybuster wad for this. I really should have used the press to seat it, but that's okay. Once again, that's 19 grains of long shot, Claybuster blue wad, 1 3/8 ounce of birdshot, whatever size you want. It'll be 1.375. There it is. There you go. There's your 1 3/8 ounce 16 gauge load, and the velocity is hovering right around 1200 or 1185 in that ballpark. Not super fast, but plenty. This is more of a hunting load, turkey load, pheasant, you know, stuff like that. Not so much a clay target load, but I figured some of you guys might like a heavy 16 gauge target load. Yep, there you go. Alright, that'll be the official end of the video. Thank you guys for watching. See you in the next one.